If you know about Apple, you'll know about their Mac lineup, which consists of the fastest computers out there. And before Apple Silicon, those Macs used to run on Intel chips, which is disgusting because those things can be so slow, and believe me guys, I know what I'm talking about. The Mac lineup consists of the MacBook Air, the MacBook Pro, the iMac, the Mac Mini, the Mac Studio, and the Mac Pro. The Mac Pro was the last one to get Apple Silicon, and everybody thought it was gonna get something like the M2 Ultra Max chip or something like that, but no, it got the M2 Ultra, which is actually present in the Mac Studio. That doesn't even make sense. And let's keep in mind that it's $3,000 more than the Mac Studio. So honestly, I wonder why it even exists. This is actually the box it came in, and I'm gonna show you guys what it was like to unbox it. So the unboxing experience is actually straight up overkill. The first thing you have to do is take this strap off. Then you go onto this side. You take this strap off. Yeah, you gotta take off the straps too. And then you lift it up. The box itself is heavy. I can't imagine how it was with the Mac Pro in it. So in here, you have the keyboard. This is where the keyboard would have been. And this is where the mouse and the cable would have been. The Mac Pro does get the M2 Ultra chip standard, so that is something to consider. And the Mac Studio, you have to upgrade it to get the M2 Ultra chip. They both have 192 gigabytes unified memory, 24 core CPU, 76 core GPU, and 8 terabytes max storage. Both of them, not just the Mac Pro, but the Mac Studio too. And it's way smaller. It's actually kind of portable. It's a brick itself, but it's portable. And the Mac Pro is one of those tower computers. There is a rack version too, guys, but it's one of those tower computers that is so big, most people just decide to keep it under their desk because some people's desks are going to be way too small. Right now in 2024, they both support Apple Intelligence, which is something I will do another video about, so stay tuned for that video. They can both support 8 4K displays, 6 6K displays, and 3 8K displays, both of them. Sometimes in Geekbench, the Mac Pro will come out as 10% to 30% faster than the Mac Studio, but that is because of thermals. The Mac Pro, because it's in a bigger case, I don't know if you guys have seen the Mac Pro's inner case, it's practically air by itself. It's just the components, and then it's a big chunky case of extra space for no reason. So the thermals, it does have 3 way bigger fans than the Mac Studio, which only has 2, so that does help with clocking. But 10% to 30% extra speed isn't even that much. Most people won't even notice. To be fair, the Mac Pro does have 2 more Thunderbolt 4 ports than the Mac Studio, which you could just get an expansion dock for the Mac Studio and it'll still be worth it. So that's not something I would add $3,000 to the price for. Not only that, it also has some accessories like wheels because it is in a tower case, but once again, not a reason to add $3,000 to the price. Sometimes I wonder why it even exists. I said that before and I'll say it again. Before, the Mac Pro used to be the best. It was always the most powerful. It usually had the best options. But after Apple Silicon, Mac Studio basically leveled with it. So let's get into the reason why somebody would pick the Mac Pro over the Mac Studio. It does have 5 PCI Gen 4 slots, which is good for expansion, extra storage, better Wi-Fi, and all of that stuff. So that is something to consider, but that's something that not everybody will need. Most people will be happy with what you can get by customizing it off the Apple website and things like that. And I would be one of those people. I don't really need specifics. Like, there's probably some pros out there who will find a use for that, but not most people. I'd say about 80% of people won't really need that. So if you need specifics, the Mac Pro is for you. I won't say it doesn't have its place, but its place is actually very narrow, I'd say. And actually, guys, I do own a Mac Pro, but funny enough, I have a Mac Pro from 2019, which is the model before Apple Silicon. Right now in 2024, we're actually up to the M4 chip. It's actually surprised that the Mac Pro and the Mac Studio don't actually have it. I really do take that as a surprise. It'd be amazing if they got the M4 chip, let's say next year, since 2024 is about to end. And I'm actually waiting for that. But they have the M2 Ultra, like I said before, and I'm gonna get into the basics of that. There's the M2, there's the M2 Pro, the M2 Max, and the M2 Ultra. The M2 is the base chip. It's the cheapest and best for those who don't really need heavy tasks. There's the M2 Pro, which is two M2 chips stuck together. And then there's the M2 Max, which is two M2 Pro chips stuck together. And then there's the M2 Ultra, which is two M2 Max chips stuck together. So in other words, it's 8 times faster than the M2, 4 times faster than the M2 Pro, and 2 times faster than the M2 Max. In 2024, the Mac Mini gets the M4 chip or the M4 Pro chip. The Mac Studio gets the Max chip or the M2 Ultra chip, and the Mac Pro gets just the M2 Ultra chip. You can't configure to anything else because it's supposed to be the best of the best, so they started off with the best chip. Remember when I said that I do own a Mac Pro? Right now I'm actually recording in a recording studio. Yeah, you guys can't see what I'm talking about yet. It's not a YouTube recording studio, it's actually a music recording studio. I'm gonna show you guys what I mean. So this is the recording booth. It is the most soundproof part of the entire recording studio, and I'm pretty sure you guys are gonna hear that difference in my voice. This is the waiting area. You can hear more echo. This is my second video recording here. By the way, the recording studio is called Perfection Recording Studio, PRS. And this is where all the action happens. And we have a piano, some recording electronics, and this is actually a Apple Thunderbolt display. This is before the Studio display and before the Pro Display XDR. And then down here we have the Mac Pro. This Mac Pro is actually amazing. It does run on an Intel chip, but it's one of the best. So when I said before that I don't like Intel chips, I did mean that, but I'm not saying that the best ones are lacking in power. I'll explain the specs after, but right now I'm just trying to show you guys how amazing this thing actually looks in person. It's actually kept the same design for a little while now, and it's actually better than that crazy little cylinder that it used to be before, honestly. This Mac Pro has a lot of specs. It's got a 3.2 gigahertz 16-core Intel Xeon W chipset. What? I know, the names are crazy long too. It's got an AMD Radeon Pro 580X 8GB graphics card.
Bruh, look at this dude.
Gosh, with these names. That's for that Mac that I have over there. It's actually different with the Apple Silicon Macs. This is the last Mac that ran on Intel, and it was from 2019. That was it for this video. Please like and subscribe for more videos. Comment down below if you would pick the Mac Pro over the Mac Studio or the Mac Studio over the Mac Pro. I would pick the Mac Studio. Share this video with your friends and family, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.